It's Monday 22nd of January and coming up to 9:30 in the morning. I said in my last video that I wasn't going to put any more videos up for a few days, and I'm not going to, but the work is taking place and I'm afraid that I'm going to miss some of the action. The little moulding things that were delivered to us, the concrete, as you can see on the floor there, they are now affixed to the windows and I think they look quite attractive. I didn't realise we were going to have those. The lintels that I mentioned in my last video, yes, they were lintels and they were made 2 days ago. They're supported by the big wooden sticks. Q blocks are very light. There's a concrete lintel and above that there are the Q blocks. Q blocks are light, so what they've done, they've effectively filled in the layer, the level as it were below the roof with blocks there. More apparent when you look at the area under the porch. They're finishing off the end window now with this moulding type material. Everything is looking very, very good. If I go around the side, and this is the reason why I'm making a video today. Here you see two of the very good workers. They're putting in soffits around the side, and I wanted to show what they do. You can see the steel going into the wall, joining the board at the end of the roof, and they hang the soffits on those to finish them off. The windows on this side have not yet had the moulding put on them. Killing two birds with one stone, I can show you the work that's being carried out by my uncle and his grandson. They've made quite rapid progress, fair play for them. The roof is taking shape. They haven't put the concrete floor in yet. Unlike the main house, the foundations to the columns that you see have not been done as well as my house, insofar as they stand on a flat concrete base and have been filled in with soil, not concrete. Now I'm sure the reason for that is that when our uncle built a similar property in Nongbua, they simply couldn't afford to go to the extent that we've gone to in building our house. Likewise, single story, perhaps a bit of overkill in my house, but it is up on stilts effectively because it's raised above the ground. They almost certainly couldn't afford to have the sort of foundation that I've got. Insofar as this is only going to be 1 story, lightweight roof, not very important. It's more like a glorified shed than anything else when you think about it. It's going to be used for cooking, storage. An outside area will develop here for visitors, and the toilet is being provided, the bathroom area being provided for them to use. People can see I'm making a video, but they don't care, they just wander around. Anyway, little blue thing is not in use today because it's cloudy. Feeling a little humid, but nothing like as hot as it was yesterday. Probably 8-9 degrees below what it was yesterday. For some strange reason, the pump that draws water from the ground was switched off. Toy has just made it go. Having got it perfect, a cousin put it right. I don't want people to be messing around with it. I want it to be constant. We have comparatively small windows on this side of the building. The tiny ones at the top are only to provide some light, daylight into the bathroom areas. If I go around the side of this, and look up, soffits are done almost as far as the corner there. Everything's looking very nice. There's additional edging, coving, whatever you wish to call it, being put on top of the window. Just for design, I think it's got no practical purpose, but it'll look nice. Thank God for me reducing the steepness of the steps going in here. They will look nice when they're tiled, and with handrails on the side, easy access for most people. And that's it for today. I say this is Monday. They continue to work on the kitchen. We went to Global a few days ago and picked all the tiles and material for the worktop in the kitchen. We've gone along with the builder's wishes as regards colours and materials, simply because you can go around in circles and spend a hell of a long time. There must be about 20 different shades of white. He has picked smoky white. My wife was looking at all the different ones and I said, no, forget it. Once they're in a darkened room, because of our deliberate efforts at keeping the sun out, one shade of white will look pretty much like another. Just no point. Just play the game with the builder, accept what he gives us, and if when the house is finished we decide we want desperately to change a particular colour, we can do it then. My objective is to get into this house as soon as possible so that we can live there and get rid of a lot of this. Then I can have a holiday. So that's Monday morning. We're up to Monday morning and I'll stop here. It's going to be dark in 20 minutes. Guy is still finishing off the column. They've put cube blocks around the concrete column. This is only for decoration. They've done a lot of work, awful lot of work. The concrete moulding which was supplied is now fitted. Those little white patches you can see are to colour the screws where they've held onto the wall. They've had another coat of that white anti-mold stuff. This moulding is now on every window and goes around the entire house. I neglected to say that this is the 23rd of January. All the windows have this coving forward. I think it's more like coving, but moulding. It's all there. I won't go around the side because the workers are now having a shower. This is our little build ourselves, where we are trying to build an outdoor Thai kitchen. Uncle Todd is up the ladder on the roof. My father-in-law died when he was 52. I never met him. His name was Keo, which is the Thai word for green. As a mark, a tribute to my late father-in-law, Todd was allowed to pick the colour of the roof, and he picked green, and there it is on the floor. We're getting to the stage where that will be put up shortly. The work is proceeding very quickly in the house. They seem to be doing everything at once. The electricians have arrived again. There are wires in most of the conduits. What happened last time was the electricians camped here overnight, out in the open. They haven't got a little shack, and it looks as though they're going to do that again. It looked like rain this morning, cloudy, very cloudy sky, but it blew away before lunchtime. It's a lot cooler than it was yesterday. It's a good 8 degrees down. This is Mediterranean type heat now, not tropical. You can hear the guy cutting the last couple of blocks to complete the last column. All 5 will have been done. Hanging from a couple of the columns are cables, because we're supposed to have a light on each of the 5 columns. You can see the fire burning. They have a little fire going every night regardless of the heat. Place is looking pretty tidy now, gotta be fair. I actually went into the house yesterday and I'm impressed. It's very nice. It is very nice. I had a couple of objections to it initially, particularly the steps on the side. That was a faux pas, that's for sure. They should have been running the other way, or really they should have been at the rear of the house. But we've got plenty of land, it really doesn't matter. Everything is coming along. The big boss came yesterday. We've chosen just about everything now, tiles. The only thing we have left to do is to go to Global and pick doors. The window man, there's been no mention of him. Now we stopped cutting. We've had paint delivered, so I would imagine that they'll be painting very soon, so as to give the house 3 coats. They're not going to give them successive coats in a matter of hours. They'll put the first coat on, then the second, and by the time they put the third, they'll have virtually finished the house. Little Kaimuk is amusing himself. It'll be dark in 13 minutes. It's hard to believe. It's quite light at the moment. You can see things. The camera's picking everything up. But in 13 minutes or 14 minutes, the street lights would be on and the place would be dark. It's quite amazing. Anybody who's been near the tropics, of course, near the equator, they know that's what happens. It's all of a sudden. Birds are flying home. I don't know if you can hear them in the background. The saw has stopped. Gonna have a quick look at our little creation at the side. Everything has been done by hand. Boss, the grandson, is 20 years old. They're packing in now. They've had a good day. We have the water in for the rings, the concrete rings are in for the toilet, and the other 4 rings will be for the Thai kitchen itself and the runoff from that. Not quite sure what's happening with the soil. Much depends on when we finish the new house. And that's it. It's a lovely, lovely time of day. Perfect. Trouble is the mosquitoes like this time of day as well. So that's the 23rd of January dealt with. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Today is the 25th of January, it's Thursday. Pardon me. It's cloudy today. Going into long-term weather forecast, we could have rain in a couple of days. The world is going crazy. They predict thunderstorms for us. But it was like this a couple of days ago and it blew away by 12 o'clock. So just take what you get. That's the end of it. Quite a lot has gone on. The electricians came. There is now wire in the conduits, and they've done everything they need to do at the moment. As I'm passing the kitchen area, you can see if I look up, you can just make out some of the ceiling boards are now in place, and because the electricians were here, they actually interfered with the work of the resident workers, as it were. And but nevertheless, the resident workers found plenty to do. So work has continued, only it's been a little, a bit at a time in different areas of the build. I can hear my pump working. Water pressure wasn't all that great this morning. Again, while I'm here, this is our outbuilding. We've got 3 family members here today. My uncle does not trust himself to do the brickwork, so we've got to get somebody else. And we're going to Global to get that metal stuff that they use for the roof. It's up there now, and get more of that to form a boundary around the floor so as to get the CPAC man in, so we have a concrete floor. There's little Kaimuk running around, playing with everything he can find. We had paint delivered, and they're not lazy, that's for sure. They have the option of doing something different if they can't do what they intended to do. So I think it looks rather nice. The builder, boss, obviously has my similar tastes to me, and yesterday they put the first coat of grey on the back, 2 different types of grey. and I think it looks really, really nice. A lot of Thai houses, a lot of Thai people go in for fluorescent colours almost, pinks and yellows and greens and everything. But this is my taste. I like it, and that's why I've not tried to look too much at his suggestions, because broadly speaking they're the same as mine. They got the cake mixer out today, so presumably they're going to render the front of the house. They've done some work on the interior of the kitchen with the units itself. As I explained before, we can't have wooden units. They will be PVC, and the sink unit and counters are made of blocks rendered with cement, and they're there permanently, which is a good thing. I wouldn't want my wife changing the kitchen every 5 minutes like some wives do in the UK. There's the steps. I like those. The 5 columns on the outside of the house have all been filled with cube blocks, purely for decoration. They serve no useful function, but again they look nice. There's a lot of work involved in doing that. The one guy worked exceptionally hard to do all that. One can see on that column there is metal edging, because they're going to put additional decoration on top of that. The workers are used to me using this thing now. I think they're quite happy. Well, they are happy. They have a good laugh all the time. As I said, I went into the house 2 days ago, and it's looking really nice. The one great thing is Captain Marvel came back yesterday. He's the exceptional worker. They're all good, all very good. But he's the man who was welding in the dark. His work ethic is something spectacularly good. And he's here. He's the brother of one of the workers. I'm not quite sure of the relationship. So today I'm thinking that they moved the cake mixer. Today we'll be rendering the front to make the front look pretty. I'm going to Global, but we need to go to Global to get doors. And as I mentioned a couple of days ago, we haven't heard anything about the windows yet. But it seems likely that the windows are going to be one of the last things to be done, apart from tiling the floors internally and externally. So there's nothing much else to show. I'll go around the one side because all the workers are up and about. No fear of me stumbling on one of them taking a shower. And there we are. You can see this metal. The metal is up at the top there. They haven't finished the soffits, but they'll do that after they've done more work on the front. And this concrete edging, moulding, whatever you want to call it, that's there for decoration as well. I'm not complaining about that. It's I want to get in the house as soon as possible. I'm not much for decoration. I'm a very minimalist sort of person, but they're doing an excellent job, so I just keep quiet. Can have a quick look through the door. Might give you an appreciation of the size of what is going to be my wife and I, our bedroom. That corner there will be where I'll have my desk and computer. The lounge is going to be quite big, bigger than we had in the UK. I raised the question of air conditioning because the large lounge is linked directly to the kitchen. I wanted to know what size air conditioner would be required, but as the builder pointed out, we have a door with mosquito netting. We have 2 big windows with mosquito netting in the kitchen, in the lounge, and we have a huge door space with mosquito netting and a very large window in the kitchen. So we don't need any air conditioning for that part of the house. We will use fans. In practice, if living in the old house is anything to go by, after dark, we're normally in bed by 9 o'clock. I don't see we're going to have that great amount of use of the lounge in practice because we spend most of our time outside during the day. That's the way it is. Went to bed last night just after 8 o'clock because everybody's getting up with the cockcrows now. My father was a great lover of staying in bed when he had a day off, and I'd like to be the same, but when you marry into a Thai family, you haven't got much chance with that. So there we are. I fixed up choc tea yesterday with I bought some ratchet straps and those metal hook type things over there was screwed into place yesterday by another uncle. Having gone to Isuzu main dealers, Isuzu don't sell anything, accessories to keep furniture or fridges or anything like that. So we had to make our own way to being able to carry material in the back of the car without it falling off. On this occasion, I have to deliver the blue toilet to Udon, through Udon Thani up to Nong Bua Lampu. So, there we are. Before I go, because I'm not making a video for a few more days, in order for my wife to be kept occupied while all this was going on. She loves a garden. We had a beautiful garden in the UK, and we're going to have a similar one over here. The soil in this, well, it's not a bucket, it's a big bin type thing. That comes from where we put our septic tanks, so concrete rings out the back. Soil is precious, proper soil is precious, not the sandy type rubbish that we have mostly on our land. We bought quite a few orchids. Somewhere there's a cannabis plant because it's allowed. No intention of using it. Certainly nobody can sell cannabis in this part of the world because anybody who wants it can grow their own. There's no criminality associated, unlike South Wales. I can give you addresses in one of the estates in South Wales where lazy people, criminally minded people, sell cannabis. The police do nothing about it. The way out of it is to just decriminalise it. Decriminalise it and it'll go away. So I don't know if it's picking up the beautiful orchids that we have here. And flowers and shrubs are cheaper than in the UK. We bought some extra pots a couple of days ago. But we intend having a spectacular garden, and instead of making videos about my own property, my next video will almost certainly be that of a friend's garden, which is absolutely wonderful. I did take a video of his property before, but unfortunately this damn camera played up and I ended up with 30 minutes of sky, not knowing that my lens was focused in the wrong place. So they're at it. They work very well. I spoke to the owner of the firm, the Big Cheese, and he is willing for me to tell other people who he is and how he can be contacted. I'm a little bit anxious because I don't want him pestered by a great many silly time wasters that we have on YouTube. But anybody genuine, feel free to add me as a friend on Facebook under the same name, and I will give you his telephone number and all necessary contact details. My family has just finished eating. Little Kaimuk has stolen our cousin's hat and is running away with it. This is the cousin who was hospitalised a few days ago, but it doesn't keep him down. I'm not quite sure what he's here for today, but he'll help, and he's very clever, works very hard. So I might be tempted to make a video later this afternoon, just for my own interest. There can't be many building sites in Thailand that have 12 people working on at the same time. 12. One woman with us, I don't think she's actually employed as a builder. She's accompanying her husband and she makes food for the rest of them. So I've got 11 workers, counting my own family. So it's very interesting. I've had my usual strawberry jam on toast and coffee, and that's all I have, but you'd be amazed what Thai people eat for their breakfasts. They're gigantic. I don't know where they put it. Okay, thank you for watching. Goodbye.